Greetings, salutations, Kanai Chaiwa. Tonight on the Grust Group Report on Grust News Central. Tonight, Grust 7 News brings you Grust Corp. Tonight's Grust News. Tonight, granted. Tonight on the Grust Group Report. A way to give back to your community involving your sperm. Runch Parliss is here with us as he debuts his semen-powered kumquat slicer at 11. But first, all of us here at Grustco would like to give a happy birthday to 1,000 years of goo! Started 1,000 years ago with nothing but $5 million he won in a PCP users only Raz tournament. Mr. Goo has been gracing us with quibs and wimbles, sants and salvos ever since. From his hard-hitting investigative journalism a la the Jangus Files, to his epic and record-breaking 5-1 victory in his Gruster Cinco appearance, all the way to the Peabody-nominated film Pretzel Quest, the movie. Mr. Goo holds the lifetime record for the most Peabody nominations without a single win or any acknowledgement from the Peabody Committee. In celebration of 1,000 years of goo, our top Grustco researchers have used space-age technology to revive the essence of Mr. Goo, from a satchel of spinal fluid he traded for 6 Quaaludes and a Dusk Noir Level X many years ago. We used this revived essence of Mr. Goo to perform slave labor and rewrite, word for word and shot for shot, our opening adventure into the Gooniverse, how to get gold in every Wario cup. With enhanced 7K audio and retinal entombment visuals, we've remastered this Mr. Goo classic for all fans young and old to enjoy. So please, sit back, relax, and grab a nice, cold, refreshing, hot, sizzling, sludge, hot, sizzlers, piping hot, cold glass of Duster slop sauce, and come join us as we take a trip down memory lane. WarioWare Get It Together marks a dual unsheathing of the core WW principles, along with a new zesty orangutan twist that would make even the scurviest of pirates quenched with citrus. After Game & Wario's unique spin focusing on the Wii U gamepad, and WarioWare Gold on 3DS primarily being a collection of micro games past, stinky, smelly, old, dirty man by name of Wario made his return on the Switch. Your classic stinky modes are back. A dirty little story mode where Wario is stealing ham or something, individual micro game selection, missions to complete, and multiplayer that has outclassed Mario Party since its inception. But this smelly like old egg dirty diaper installment of Wario's party tricks has another little smelly surprise: the Wario Cup. Some might have you believe the Wario Cup is just the equivalent of a high score leaderboard for weeklies, with the added frustration where you can't even get a reward if you hibernate for a week and forget to check in, filling your tum-tum with warm nutrients from perhaps a friend who has milk you can borrow. But no, the Wario Cup is a pantheon of pain, a coliseum of derelict souls bound to no gods, where the only friend you have is an old wooden ship. A ship named Friend. The Friendship. The boat they recorded that show of the Friends people on. Every week, we get some new twisty twist from the twisted mind of Ryan Reynolds to engorge upon. A new criteria to challenge thine hallowed halls of microgamedom, with 3 classes of trophy achievable: Classic Bronze, Silver, and Gold, as well as a handy-dandy ranking sheet to show what percentile you reach compared to all of mankind. with the top 20 to 40% of scores getting some extra stinky goodies. But how exactly can one achieve that coveted gold every time? What are these elusive, stinky, smelly like old cat, fell in garbage then got sprained by skunk goodies? Can you barter these goods or perhaps incorporate them in a mayonnaise-based sauce, a cream fraiche or other mayonnaise sauce perhaps? Well, lucky you, you sapling of life, you birdling of the clouds, you little shrimp scampi of success. You clicked this video, and now you too can learn the ancientest of most ancient genjutsus. How to get gold in every Wario cup. While I overslept a couple weeks from a combination of expired Quaaludes and Granular shuffling, I completed the overwhelming majority of these during the week of, ultimately completing them all with gold cups, and quite a few in the top 5 to 10% if I don't say so myself. I've also completed pretty much all the single player content and missions in the game, so by this time, I've experienced every level of every micro game, probably with every character, who knows, I don't know, stop asking so many questions, Gilbert, you dirty dog. I have also played every WarioWare title, including the 1999 hidden release WarioWare Fiesta of Nudity. So you can trust me, don't worry, I'll make sure this baby comes back in one piece. Vroom vroom. Step 1. Assess the challenge. The first step is pretty simple, but always important to keep in mind nonetheless. The goal here is straightforward. Do whatever you gotta do to reach that threshold for gold. However, there are a couple of fundamental ways to categorize these cups in terms of what you're actually doing to get the gold. First is determining whether you are going for a high score or the fastest time. Optimizing speed and hoping for the best RNG when you have a fastest time challenge. With a high score, you just need to complete the game at any cost, so that opens you up to whatever technique works best for you. With a timed challenge, it can be worth exploring other characters, trying to complete the micro game a certain way, or resetting for certain patterns to save the most time. Next, look at whether the cup is endless or has a set amount of micro games to complete. Endless score challenges are the real wasteland of devastation, where only the strongest prevail, and the sweatiest of strats might be required. But if there's a set amount of games to complete, you can really focus on those set games, and doing runs will be a lot faster overall. Plus, if it's a score challenge with limited games, once you complete all the micro games with your highest level characters, congrats! You've hit the wall and can top yourself no longer for that challenge. At this point, you can rest away in wet, swampy holes, where perhaps amphibians frolic and little squirmy guys can get rest under your toes. But that brings us to the last opening criteria, and the stinky spicy twist that Get It Together brings to the WarioWare Compendium. Does this Wario Cup allow you to pick your characters, or are they character locked? In this game, your character choice can greatly affect how you play a micro game effectively. Each of the playable characters has a different movement style, along with an action of some kind for button presses. This ranges from fairly normal characters like Wario and Ashley, who go wherever you control the stick and have a dash attack or projectile respectively, to the more obtuse characters, like 9-Volt constantly moving with your only control going towards well-timed button presses of his yo-yo, or Penny who travels through propulsion of her water pack, essentially going in reverse of where you aim. Some games can go from slogs to easy peasy lemon meringues, just from your choice of character. And especially for the timed cups, choosing characters that can complete a game quicker than others is vital. What's most important though, is for certain cups you will receive varying points depending on your character choice, and the level you've ranked them up to. Depending on how easy or difficult a character is for a certain challenge, they will have a set score multiplier. As you play the game overall and collect coins, you can buy goodies to rank up your characters, which also adds to the point score. Hitting level 30 with each character is recommended, and if you really want the highest scores, 9-Volt and Cat often have the best multiplier. Every 2 levels, your character gains a higher point value for the Wario Cups, so just play on and complete missions to squeeze the most out of every character of life. Of course, sometimes you don't get to choose your character for a cup, making it all more important to rank up everyone and figure out their best approach to the micro games. Lastly, for this section, I'll mention the rare double challenges, often where you have two Puro to control at once, or both Cat and Anna and Dribble and Spitz. I'll come back to them at the end with more tips, but yes, these can be very tricky. You just gotta deal with it. Deal with it. Step 2. Play the cup. In the almighty words of Shia LaBeouf, just do it. When you've got your character choices in and know the challenge parameters, all that's left is to get a feel for the cup itself. Playing through the cup fully if it does have an end, at least once or twice, is definitely worth it at first, even if it's a bit sloppy. Mainly you want to understand what games you are playing, what levels and speeds they can appear at, and how your characters of choice can complete these games most efficiently. Some cups do have a complete set order of games where every time it's the same. Others have them sort of in different groups where the order can be randomized within that group. And in either scenario, you've always got to be wary of the innate RNG of the microgames. Microgames do change slightly and add some difficulty as their level increases from 1 to 3, but even within one level of a game, there can be different patterns that appear. Playing the cup initially will help you figure out if your character choice is actually a good one, what characters you might need to rank up with goodies for a better score, and it'll just get you into the mindset of the challenge. Step 3. Congratulations! And there you have it. Once you've played the cup, you should have a gold medal and be in the top 1% of the universe. But maybe that didn't happen, and you played the cup from start to finish but didn't snag sweet gold, or even a medal at all. If that is the case, you have not been congratulated. So what can we do then to achieve that congratulations we seek, Papa Geppetto? What can I do to rescind my strings, to fly free as a real boy, unhampered from the limitations of imagination? Well, worry not, Chris Pine. I shall embark said words of wisdom to give you thine jubilance of life and of bread and moisture. Gruster's tips. Redux. Gruster says, always win every game. It seems obvious, but in a timed challenge or one with a set amount of games, you gotta win them all, bruh. Some challenges will let you get away with a loss or two and still snag gold, especially if you have a high character rank. But timed challenges add 20 seconds and pretty much immediately invalidate the run. Beating a game slowly is better than not beating it at all. Gruster reminds. Alternative strategies are often worth trying out. Sometimes a character you don't expect works really well with a certain game in a challenge, or a character you're playing actually has a better way to complete the games themselves. Experiment, practice with specific games that give you trouble in the Playopedia, and just search for the goo of life that will give you the spice you need for success. Gruster instructs. Make sure to take the time and thank each character, individually. Shake their virtual hands. Head to a ball game, or perhaps one of those places where you can just throw knives at a wall. At the end of the day, the seed of Xanthor can only be planted if you perform the ritual of Wario,
specifically tomes 7 through 33. Please do not, I repeat, do not use tome 34. Tomes 1 through 6 are fine, they're just kinda shitty.
Gruster listens. Listen to your body. It can tell you things. Use that listening to listen to the start of each microgame. Hearing comes first in regards to reaction time, and all microgames will start with the patented "do this!" exclamation point to give you a little instruction in the midst of a frantic fray. Paying attention to the announcement and start of a game is key, so you can instantly know what you're up against and what you should be doing with your character. Should I be mashing attack, holding in a certain direction, purposefully doing nothing in wait of further commands? The difference between silver and gold can be just one more game, so having that awareness so you're ready to jump in immediately is key. Out goes the Lancelot, in goes the Lancerly, out goes the Waverly, tied up in the soup. You tie it in a knot and you soup it in your tie. Soup is tied up, knotted in the soup. Put the soup inside the pie, tie it in the Superman. Soup inside, looking for a big soup. I'm looking for soup in the tie. I'm looking for tie in the Gruster's doctors. And of course, as with WarioWare microgames as a whole, reaction time and quick thinking is what makes or breaks it at the end of the day. So do common things to increase your reaction time, like drinking lamb soda, bathing in dandelions, and keeping tabs on the crustos. Step final. How was it? So, how'd you do? Have you struck gold yet, like an old Ebenezer or perhaps Ichabod from the days of yore? You can try using any spells if you know them. That might help. Almost forgot spells. But otherwise, I hope these tips can do you well in your journey to Wario Gold. Wow. What a breathtaking look back at an admirable assault on an infringing territory of adventuring mystique of an adventure that video was. But in all seriousness, thank you. In all seriousness, thank you. Grustco wouldn't be here without you. Yes, you, the person who somehow made it to the end of this video. For that, you honestly have my true appreciation. If you enjoyed this trip into the world of Goo, or any other Gruster's adventure, a like on the video and a subscription to the channel really does help, spread the word of the Goo and get it further out there, and keep things going. If any of my videos have helped you achieve something in a game, or just in life, if they've shown you something new that you fell in love with, like perhaps an album I reviewed, a comedy bit I've referenced, or any of the games I've played. Hell, if anything gave you a good chuckle while thinking, the fuck is this guy talking about? Feel free to share all of your wonderful memories in the comments and any favorite moments. I definitely do read any of the comments I get and appreciate the kind words when they appear. And if you want me to write or edit something for you, feel free to hit me up on Fiverr. The link's in the description and on the main page of the channel. Hell, even if you want to curate a Gruster's episode and perhaps have me review the new Naked Cigarettes album, or help you with a platinum trophy guide for Grinklegor's Castle, all are welcome to submit their inquiries to Captain Goo. So yeah, thanks again for stopping by. Here's to 1,000 more years of Jim Jankus, and as always, keep it gooey. I've got pubes, I've got pubes. I'm looking for Goody procedure. I'm looking for Thomas and Gerard. Thomas and Gerard. Every single day. You can live in love. Thomas and Gerard. Thomas and Gerard. Everybody lives a good old slum. Dustin living large in Slop for any situation. Everybody loves a good old slop from Dusters. Maybe it's a super stew. Everybody loves a good old slop from Dusters. Just on the off chance that I'm naked. Just on the